Advertisements. You know them, you probably hate them, but you still get them all the time. Hell, you probably got an ad after clicking on this very video, and to that I say thank you. The monetization money is delicious. And for me at least, I find the very concept of advertisements to be interesting. Of course, nobody wants to be spammed with them all the time, but it's interesting to see the lengths and creative measures companies will go to in order to sell you a product or even a message. In a very short span of time, your attention has to not only be grabbed, but maintained through resonating to one's ethos. Enough so that in the future, if you see or even think of anything related to what was shown to you, and you still think about that ad, that means the ad won. Or you can go the Temu route, where you have no choice but to remember, because you were shown the same fucking ad 6 times throughout the Super Bowl. If done right, not only can ads accomplish their main goal of trying to sell something to you, but they also stand as their own piece of art. For example, one of my favorite commercials I've ever seen is this Find Your Greatness ad by Nike.
Greatness. It's just something we made up. Greatness is not some rare DNA strand. It's not some precious thing. Greatness is no more unique to us than breathing. We're all capable of it. All of us.
Ads don't even have to be deep to be good. They could just be classics because of how funny they are.
Did I win something?
My sources tell me you've been calling Jack in the Box junk in the box.
So?
I take these things personally, Brad.
Get lost.
Sure, just try my food, apologize, and I'll go.
Beat it, clown!
Listen, punk! I've spent millions of dollars improving my kitchens to make our best burgers ever!
You're psycho!
Oh yeah, whoop 'em good, Jack.
Brad, you get to try my best burger ever, and all I want is your honest opinion.
Tasty.
Really? You're not just saying that because I'm kneeling on your spine?
No, I shouldn't have dissed your food, man. I'm sorry, Jack.
Well, I'm sorry about the grass stains.
Really?
No.
And there are those ads that just aged beautifully because of how ironically funny they become.
I put together some really impressive deals, but this thing you've pulled off, it's amazing. A big and tasty for just $1? How do you do it? What's your secret?
Hell, some commercials become so popular that they become integral to the brand itself. Think about the classic, how many licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? That was back in 1982, and everyone still remembers that today. Also, how popular M&M commercials have been for the past 2 decades.
I'm the luckiest.
People love them, and I would argue a small portion of people who hear about that brand think about the advertisements first. But if you ask me, I feel like for the past couple of years, advertisements have just kinda lost their touch, you know? This is not to say all of them are bad. Hell, 2 years ago, Taco Bell released a fully animated, actually good-looking commercial just to re-announce that their cheesy fries were back. And I was gonna have them for the bit, but it's 1 AM, I'm not driving out to Taco Bell right now. Another ad 2 years ago from the Olympics was this one by Omega, and you could see genuine passion and creativity was put into it. However, I think we know that these are outliers compared to the out-of-touch dog water ads that are spoon-fed to us every day. The majority of them are just bland and forgettable, not trying anything new because it's better to just play it safe than to actually try. I, and probably you, cannot think of a single time in recent memory where a car commercial tried to do anything different besides show off the car with a family or overseeing a view of sorts. And one of the times I had seen a car commercial try to do something different, this is what came out. Some ads don't even feature the product or the brand until the very end. It's like they were trying to make a short film, and at the very end we're just like, ah, fuck. This was supposed to be an ad? And those are simply the forgettable ads. But in terms of bad ads, we've all seen bad ads before. Some even become popular just because of how egregious they are. There's the classics we've all seen, and once every few years, a new one will rise up and take over the internet for a few weeks. I would argue that although they're awful, they're actually some of the best ads ever made. Accidentally. Like I said earlier, the whole point of an advertisement is to get a brand or a product stuck in your head. And I don't know about you, but at least once a month for the past 3 years, I've had that stupid Grubhub dancing ad get stuck in my head. And like mentioned earlier with ads that could not have aged more gracefully, There are also ads that could not have aged more horribly, mainly due to the fact that they feature some of the worst people that could have ever graced this rock.
Holy shit, did he make some strong drinks.
Same with ads that are just placed at the worst possible times. Not to the fault of the ads themselves, just horribly bad luck.
As Matt just mentioned, we have a breaking news story to tell you about.
And finally, there's a smaller but growing niche of ads that I think are somewhat overlooked, and that would be relatable ads. Now, what are relatable ads? It's pretty self-explanatory. It's either ads that try to be overly pandering to the general public or towards a specific demographic. But you may be wondering, doesn't every ad do this? And the answer is yes, but there's always a limit. But what I'm talking about specifically are advertisements that go, listen, we're just like you. There's not that much different between us. Except we have a lot more fucking money than you. But please still buy our product. I don't know about you guys, but literally me. You've all seen these ads before, and probably the most notorious one is the one that Wendy's put out.
Whew, eat spicy goodness like a
But this method of advertisement has branched out and taken form all over social media. We've all seen it. Wendy's was the most popular ad a couple years ago when they became quirky on Twitter, and we've seen how every brand does this now with varying success, we'll say. They want to be just like you in the replies, giving the funny comments because, hey, look, I'm not a brand. I'm just the unpaid intern. But it doesn't stop them from being constantly replied to like this. The only brand that does this well, though, is KFC. Specifically Spanish KFC. I'm gonna gloss over the rest of that because, dear God, I have to go one video without talking about Twitter. Please, for the love of God, I can't fucking take it. Brands have made a real place for themselves on TikTok, though. They do the same thing where they comment on popular videos to try to gain traction, but that's not really what I want to focus on. It's what they post themselves. One thing they do is where they'll have an influencer act like they're doing a genuine review of a place or a product, but you can see it's clearly sponsored or being posted by the brand themselves, so what's really the point? We already know that they're going to give a good review at the end because, I mean, I don't think these influencers are being paid to shit on a brand. Some brands also try to make their own content to try to garner attention, but only one company does it right. Can you guess what that is? It's Duolingo. Come on, of course it's Duolingo. They're the only ones to make actual funny videos after they became a meme, and that's blown up their popularity over the years. Other brands have noticed this, of course, and they try to get a little piece of that pie, but it doesn't work the same. You can't replicate the magic twice. But yeah, other than that, we've just kind of been in a perpetual state of mediocrity, where brands have no idea how to appeal to the general audience, and any attempts to try to come off as relatable just feels forced. Okay, I've done all this complaining, but do I have a solution? Yes, I do. I even have two. First is to take a risk, and just simply make ads funny again. Which is possible if Doritos and M&M's finally decide to lock in again. But to every other company, since you rely on internet humor that's dated 2 to 5 years, I have another solution for you. Bring back the jingles. I'm not even joking. Now, who doesn't like a good jingle? The only companies I can even think about right now where they still use their jingle are McDonald's and Chuck E. Cheese. And I guess you can count Taco Bell, but that is literally just a bell. But think about it, jingles are, and always have been, the most perfect way to advertise. And they've been gone long enough where I think they can make the perfect comeback. I can't wait for this to backfire, and I eventually make a jingles need to be stopped video in about 5 years. Other than that, what's the conclusion here? Don't use an ad blocker, please. I still need money. Hey there, you. Subscribe to Mishap. Don't call it the Misha P channel. That's Cap. So come on, be a good chap. You want parasocial fun? Subscribe to Mishap. That's my jingle right there. I think it's gonna really catch on.
Together, Grimace, we could own this town.